Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome to our finale of our Hartford Whalers Throwback franchise mode. So this is the last episode and last franchise episode you're going to see of NHL 22. So in last episode, we had the entire season simulation. We finished 38, 29, 12, and 3, but it's kind of weird because our team didn't have really that great of statistics in terms of goals for, goals against. We were kind of like mid-table, and then our power play and our penalty kill were near the bottom of the league. So I don't really know what to make of this team. I think we could still definitely win a Stanley Cup this season, but there's going to be a lot of teams that we're going to be playing against that are going to be pretty tough. But this is what our roster looks like going into the playoffs. A lot of our guys are probably dropping off a bit because we do have a lot of older guys. Like, for example, Brett Hull's 35. We got Emerson, who's 32. Primo's is up there already. Stevens is 35. Cron 33. Dineen's 37. Like, you can kind of see there's a lot of age with this team. Wesley's 32, same as Shvela, Chason 33. So it's a very old roster, but they are looking to win another Stanley Cup, and we're probably going to start with Jay Shiger as our starting goalie this playoff run, just because Sean Burke has dropped off to being worst in a starting goalie. So if Shiger doesn't do good, though, obviously we could turn to Burke, but this is what our team looks like going into this first round playoff matchup, and hopefully we could beat the Boston Bruins. We've never played them before in the playoffs, so this should be interesting to see who ends up coming up on top. But this is what their team looks like at the moment. They do have an injury to Mike Ricci, and he will not return until the second round if Boston gets there. So we won't have to face him. So their center depth is a little bit weak. They do got some good physical players, though, on like their bottom six. So yeah, it's a decent team for the most part. Ray Bourque is still there. He's still kicking at an 85, so he has dropped down a little bit, but should be interesting to see if he could do some good offensive damage against us or not. And yeah, that's basically what their team looks like. So let's get into this first game of this first round and see if we can get ourselves back to the second round. And like I said, we're going to be doing every single round in this episode just because this is the finale. So let's see how long this episode lasts. If it's going to be like a 20-minute episode, you guys know that I lose in round 1. If it's going to be like 40 minutes plus, you guys know that I'm going to be losing in, like, I don't know, round 3. Or maybe I'll win a Stanley Cup by then. Who knows? Depends on how fast we get through this. So let's get into game 1. We got home ice advantage. Let's see what happens. See if we could win a first-round matchup after we won the Stanley Cup last season. First period of game 1. And it is scoreless. Okay, I'll take that. Shots are 10-8 in favor of us, so we are out shooting them by a little bit, but pretty even first period, I'd say. Second period, 1-0 Boston. Not great. Selivanov scores on the power play. We're out shooting him 23-17, but we are down by a goal, so definitely need to find a way to crack who's their starting goalie again. I think it's Jim Carey. Yeah, we need to find a way to beat the net detectives, so let's see what happens in the third, see if we can tie this game up. Our offense has definitely been something that's not been that great this season, so we definitely need to find a way to have it be a little bit better in the playoffs here if we want to win this series. 5-on-3 power play, and we do not convert. That's a big penalty killer for Boston. Come on, boys, let's tie this up. We got home ice advantage for a reason, and we're going to lose 1-0. We outshot them 34-27, and we do not score a single goal in game 1. That's been unfortunate, but at least it was a good defensive effort, but our team definitely needs to find a way to score goals. Jay Shiger kept us in that game the entire time, but we could not get him a win. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know if we should make adjustments to our lines, because if the offense hasn't been good in the regular season and it's off to this type of start in the playoffs, maybe we need to just tweak the lines and find a way to get that offense going again. So let's make some tweaks already, even though it was only a game 1 loss. I just don't want to get swept in this final series because that would not be great. So what do we want to do? Let's change Primo and Castles for fun. Let's change Rice and Dineen for fun. Arvidsson and Cron for fun. Actually, Cron led us in points this year, though, or didn't he? Yeah, so Cron instead of Stevens, we'll move Stevens to the third line, since Cron was actually one of our best players. And then we will move Sweeney up, Wesley to play a chase on, and then Malik with Bouchard, the younger guys. And yeah, Jay Shiger will start again. If he plays terrible, though, for a game, then we will definitely turn to Mr. Sean Burke, because Sean Burke was really good at the year we won the Stanley Cup last year. So there we go. Let's see if we can tie the series up, because if we fall down 0-2 headed to Boston, I feel like we're not in a good territory to win this series for sure. Here we go. Game number 2. Let's see if we can get that offense running a little bit better. First period. Hey, that's exactly what we needed. So Jason Allison scored early, so that's not a great start again, but Keith Primo scores, Joel Bouchard scores, and Jeff Sanderson scores. So the three guys that are not in their 30s. And we're out to them 12-9, but we are up 3-1 after one. Let's keep that rolling. We had 2 goals in a span of 15 seconds, around 16 seconds. So hopefully this offense can continue to do that type of thing in the second period. Second period, 4-2 us. At least we still have the 2-goal advantage. Cote pulled them within 1, but Emerson then restored our 2-goal lead. We're out to him 19-18, up by 2 goals. Let's see what happens in the third, see if we can lock this game down and tie the series headed to Boston. But yeah, this might be a pretty even series considering both of these two teams finished pretty close in the standings, pretty similar records and power play percentages and all that type of thing, I think. So, penalty kill. Nicely done, boys. Yeah, Jaguar's doing pretty good as a playoff goalie. And we are going to win that game by a score of 4-2, and we have tied the series. We got outshot 28-27, but we have a tie series at least, which is great. So Primo from Sanderson and Malik, Bouchard from Sanderson, Sanderson from Hull and Primo. So looks like putting Primo on the top line might have been the right idea. Emerson from Castles and Chason. Not too bad. So maybe that change in centerman actually helped us out. So Sanderson the first star with 3 points, Primo the second star with 2 points, and Jaguar the third star with only 2 goals against. Okay, now the series shifts to Boston. Can we win games on the road? Can we win games on the road? Can we be consistent offensively? Because, yeah, we had a lot of ties in the regular season, but obviously there's no ties in the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see if our team could find ways to win in overtime and all that type of thing as well. So we're going to keep the lineup the exact same as that game. Let's see what happens in Game 3. Just because if we end up going to the Stanley Cup Finals, this might be a very long episode. So first period, 3-0 after 1. Let's go. Maybe we found the right line combinations. Because our team's starting to score goals. Fela, Hull, and Kron. Fela's goal was a power play goal. Shots 14-9 after 1. Second period, 4-2. Let's go, boys. Stevens makes it 4-0, but then Daniels and Cote score, so a little bit weird there. Daniels is an enforcer. Cote is a top 4 defenseman. We're out to him 27-16. We're up by 2 goals. Let's lock this one down as well, just like last game. Hey, let's take a 2-1 series lead. But yeah, this team is looking much better offensively as Keith Jones makes it 4-3. That's not good. Come on, Jaguar. You got this, man. He's having his worst game yet, it looks like. But Fela makes it 5-3 with a big goal. That's probably going to help us ice this game, right? Penalty kill. It's a long penalty kill late in the game, and we killed it off, and we win 5-3. Outshot them 38-28 as well. Pretty good win there. Not the best defensive effort or goaltending effort, but very solid offensive effort, which we didn't really have in Game 1, right? But we did in Game 2. So it's Fela from Castles and Hull, Hull from Sanderson, Kron from Everson and Castles, Stevens from Hull and O'Neill, and Fela from Hull and Primo. See, I think the top 6 is assimilating much better. Brett Hull gets first star with 4 points. Fela had 2 goals. He gets second star, and Tallis the third star for them. So did Jim Carrey get injured or something? Because why was Tallis starting? Because he was worse overall, so I don't know why Robbie Tallis is starting in net. We'll check afterwards. If he starts this game as well, then maybe they do actually have a goalie injury or something like that. Okay, so we have a 2-1 series lead. Can we take a commanding 3-1 series lead on the Boston Bruins? Let's see what happens. First period, 1-1. I guess I'll take that. Castle scores. That's good to see the top 6 still getting going. Anson Carter, though, ties it up on the power play. They're out shooting at 17-9 after 1, so that's a bit iffy. At least Jaguar's not letting them get much past him, so that's good. But we definitely need to get more offensive chances in the second period if we want to win this game. So, second period, 2-1. Let's go. Jeff Sanderson late in that period on Carey. So, yeah, Carey is in net. So, I guess Tallis must have just recovered from him for a little bit. So, we're being outshot 25-20. So much better period there. We're up by 1 goal. Let's see if we could lock this down in the third period and take a 3-1 stranglehold on the Bruins. Primo scores. That's a huge goal early in the third. Penalty kill right afterwards, and we kill it off. And Joel Bouchard scores. Let's go. But Laukkanen makes it a 4-2 game. Come on, Jiggy. You got this, man. Seems like Jaguar just wins a lot of playoff games like he did a few years ago. And Nelson Emerson makes it 5-2, and that should lock it down. And we are going to take a commanding 3-1 series lead on the Boston Bruins, and we're 1 win away from going back to the second round. So Castles from Cron and Emerson, Sanderson from Hull and Malik, Primo from Hull and Sanderson, Bouchard from Arvidsson and Deneen, and Emerson from Castles and Cron. So yeah, our top 6 is performing quite well. So Jaguar gets first star of the game with 34 saves, Sanderson to second star with 2 points, and Primo to third star with a goal. And we're 1 win away from the second round again. And our offense has been doing pretty good the last 3 games since being shut out in game 1. Okay, let's get into game 5 and waste no time, because like I said, I don't want this episode being super long for you guys. Let's see if we could win the series and take out the Boston Bruins with a win on home ice. That'd be nice. First period of game 5. And we're down 1-0. Okay, trailing for once. We're out shooting 14-4 though, which is kind of weird. So Jaguar not off to a great start, and our offense is off to a good start in terms of shots, but not converting. So Renberg with the only goal. Can we get a way to tie this up in the second period? 2-0 Boston. Oh man. Bob Carpenter scores a power play goal. We're out shooting 24-17, but this might be one of those games that we just lose, even though we outplay them in. Let's see what happens in the third period. See if we can pull back in as Carpenter scores again, and it's now 3-0. He dropped down to a 75, yet he scores 2 goals against us. Sanderson gets a power play goal to get us within 2, but that might not be enough. Looks like we might have a game 6 back in Boston, which means I might have to make some adjustments again just in case. And Allison makes it 4-1. Yeah, this is not a great game for Jaguar, and we lose 4-1 in game 5, which means we are going to a game 6. Our only goal is Sanderson from Cron and Manderville. But yeah, Jim Carrey definitely played good that game. I might make some adjustments just to see if we could find a good way to close out this series, because if Boston wins on home ice, then we go to a game 7, and that might be the last ever game of this series. Who knows? Let's go to edit lines and make some adjustments. What do we want to do? Stevens has been kind of quiet, but same as Arvidsson. Let's go Malik up onto the top 4, Wesley down to the top 6 pairing. And yeah, Jaguar's been good. I could go to Sean Burke though. Let's go to Sean Burke for this game, just for something different, and see if Sean Burke could close out the series. Give Jaguar a little bit of rest, because maybe since he's young, he's kind of like tired from the amount of games he's played, because he played a lot more games this year than last year. So we'll see if Burke could close out the series and get us to that second round. Come on, Berkey. Let's get this done. There we go. Game 6 in Boston. Let's win the series, boys. First period, scoreless. I will take it. Shots 10-8 in favor of Boston, so pretty even first period. Last time we had an outcome like this, we lost 1-0 in game 1, so I'll see what happens in game number 6. Second period, 1-0 Boston. That's not good. Selovanov scores just like game 1. Selovanov had the only goal in game 1, and so far he does here in game 6. Shots are 20-19 in favor of us. We're down by a goal. We need our offense to find a way to get past Jim Carrey, who's now playing like a net detective. Let's see what happens in this third period. We might be going to a game 7, unless our boys could find a way to tie this up. And Jason Marshall, I think it is, scores to make it 2-0. That's not good. And now we're taking too much penalties in this third period. We were playing so good, and now we're going to be going to a game 7, huh? Kyle McLaren makes it 3-0. And our offense is nowhere to be found. And shorthanded empty net goal by Hines makes it 4-0. And we get shut out for the second time here in this first round. Not good. Not good. I would not put that game on Sean Burke, though. That was not Sean Burke's fault. Yeah, it wasn't Sean Burke's fault. Okay, so we got to make some radical line adjustments, because we only have 1 goal in our last 2 games after we scored like 5 goals a game in the last 3 after that. So we're being very inconsistent offensively. We got to find a way to get that game 7 win, because this might be the last game that you guys see of this Hartford Whalers team. So we'll go back to Jaguar for sure. Defensively, let's make some radical adjustments here. Let's go with Chason and Shvela. And then we'll go with Sweeney and Wesley. And we'll go with Malik and Bouchard, I think. Actually, Let's take Bouchard out. And we will give Godiniak an opportunity. Oh, yeah, we'll do this. Yeah, that looks good. So that looks better defensively. And then we will try and reunite Castles back on that top line again. See if that helps out anything. And bottom six-wise, Dineen's dropping off a lot. Let's go with Arvidsson on this third line instead. And then Rice, Dineen, and Manderville in the fourth. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, game 7 might be the last game of the series. Let's see what happens. Obviously, we're going to still take a look at the awards and retirements if we end up losing this. So you guys will get a little bit of a recap at the end of this series. But let's see what happens here. Real-time simulation, game 7. Can we find a way to the second round, or are we going to be eliminated after we had a bunch of good games? Chase on scores early, so that's a good sign that our offense is clicking. Good job, Steve. And Darren Turcotte ties it up for them on the power play. He used to play for the Hartford Whalers back before this franchise mode started, and he would have done in like 95, I think it was. Marshall makes it 2-1. No, Jiggy. Come on, Jiggy. You had to play like you did when you were with Anaheim in real life. Shots are 12-10 in favor of Boston. We're down 2-1 after we scored first early on. Let's see what happens in the second. See if we can tie this game up at 2. Come on, boys. Hey, Brett Hull scores. He had not scored, I don't think, this series. Or he might have only had like one other goal. That's a huge goal from Brett. He was one of our best players last year in the Stanley Cup run. So Arvidsson makes it 3-2. Let's go, Magnus. Let's go. It's a huge goal. We got the lead back. Now the question is, can we hold on to this lead? And they tie it up late in the second, which is kind of scary because I feel like they're going to score early into the third because that sometimes happens. And it was a power play goal again, so whoever took that penalty, why did you do that? Because now the momentum is on their side going into the next period. Shots 20-19, we're tied at 3. Let's see if we could take the lead back in this third period. Or are we going to be packing our bags in the first round? Darren Turcotte scores on the power play again. Why are we taking so much penalties, guys? And there's another penalty that we allow a goal right afterwards, I guess, Turcotte, and we're going to lose this game. Yep, we're going to be out in the first round, aren't we? Dineen makes it 5-4, so maybe not. Very back and forth game here. Penalty kill again. Nicely done. Can we tie this up here, please, boys? I'm going to go into this and let you guys watch this. Well, actually, I'll talk while we watch this, but might as well see if this boys could tie it up, and then that way you guys can get some more gameplay in this. Let me just make sure it's on true broadcast, but if we don't tie this game up, we're going to be packing our bags in the first round. Let's watch. See what happens. See if this team could stay alive. Considering this might be the final episode, you guys might as well get some more gameplay in it. So, oh, come on, boys. We got Primo, Caron. Who else out there? I can't remember. Oh, Emerson probably. Here's Don Sweeney throwing it over to Emerson. A little bit slow with the puck. Here he comes. Come on, Nelson. Come on. Throws it back to Wesley. Wesley to Sweeney. Over to Primo. Oh. Oh, it's loose. Oh my goodness, that almost found a way. And we're already into the final minute of play now. Why is the clock feeling like it's going much faster than it should be? I don't have it on accelerated. Cron loses it. Primo with it. Probably going to pull our goalie soon, and the puck gets to the net. It's a scramble at front, and Jim Carey finds it. Oh, man. Yeah, we have an empty net now with 43.9 seconds left. We bring out our top line of Castle, Sanderson, and Hall for one maybe last chance. Chason and Schweiler are on the point, I think. It said Dineen's the extra attacker. Schweiler to Chason. Over to Dineen. Shoots. It's blocked by Cote. That's not good. Sanderson pressuring it, and it goes to an open side. Get there, guys. Get there. Good hit by Dineen on the forecheck. Castle's with it. Brett Hull can't get through. And we're still killing time here in the offensive zone, which is good, but we need to get shots. Come on, boys. Castles loses it, tries to go to the net. Castles scores! Oh, huge goal from Andrew Castles. Let's go. Okay. Well, we're going to be watching a long overtime potentially, too. So if we end up, like, if for some reason this game goes to, like, double OT, I really apologize. This might be, like, a really long finale if we end up getting into the Cup Finals after this type of thing. But huge goal from Castles there. On a little bit of a broken play, Cote walks right in. Don't let him walk in, guys. It's game 7. You need to play defense. Jeez. Sanderson throws it up, turns it over. Selivanov, Jaguar with a big save. That was a dangerous pass by Sanderson. Wow. Don Sweeney is up there in penalty minutes in this playoff run, which is interesting. Didn't think he was that type of player, but oh well. But yeah, we're going to be going to overtime likely unless Castles loses his draw, which is a tie-up. Okay, that's good. And we are going to OT. The question is, who is going to score the overtime winner? And when is it going to come? Because it might take a long time for us to find an OT winner. But big goal there from Andrew Castles on a broken play. Is forced overtime. Oh, come on, boys. We're out him 34-26. It's been a back and forth game. And that was actually Darren Turcotte, yeah, has a hat trick for them. Jeez. So we got to watch out for Turcotte for Boston. So let's see what happens in Game 7 overtime. See who wants to be that hero. Who wants to do it. I'm going to guess out of anybody. I'm going to say Robert Schvela. I don't know. He's just had a great year, so that's my guess. And if I'm guessing a Bruin, oh wait, maybe not. Maybe it's going to be Brett Hull. Here's Brett Hull with it. Come on, Brett. Oh, he lost to the Ray Bork, of course. Bork's still really good. Even though he's not in the 90 overall range now, he's still really good. And oh my goodness, that almost eliminated us as Jason Allison had a chance to walk right in. Come on, boys. Schvela over to Chason, gets two guys to converge on him, and now it's an all-man break. Castles with Hull and Sanderson. Come on, Castles. He slows down a lot, and then he loses the puck. A little bit of indecisiveness there. Castles gets it back. Finds Hull. Come on, Hull. Come on, Brett. Can't get to the net. Sylvain Cote with it now. Loses it to Sanderson. We're playing good on the forecheck here right now. Sanderson can't get the shot. Schvela gets it back. Can't get a chance, though. And now the Bruins with it. Renberg throws it over to Hines. Hines lost it, but he got it to Cote. Cote turns it over. Brett Hull with it. Brett Hull with it still. He lost a handle on it. Oh, man, that was a good chance. Castles with it. Shoots it. Oh, it almost trickled through. On a tight angle chance. Andrew Castles nearly got another goal. Yeah, this is fun to watch the games. But like I said, if we end up somehow winning the Stanley Cup this season, so this episode might be really long, and I do apologize about that. But if you guys end up watching it all, thank you. I really appreciate it. So Renberg with it. Renberg walks in over to Allison, and that one was a whipper that just missed. Yikes. Allison again. He's looked kind of dangerous for them. Schvela with it. 3-on-2. Schvela to the net. Stopped. It's loose. Caron finds it. Can't get it through. Sorry, I've had to clear my throat there. Primo with it again. Drops to the Wesley. Caron to the net. Can't get a chance. Man, I'm trying to almost lose my voice here. Turcotte with it, walking in, can't get the shot. He's almost looking like Cam Neely out there since he's wearing number 8. A tie up along the boards. Where's the holding penalty? Jeez. He was like holding on to him for like 5 minutes there. Primo steals the puck. The big man going up against another big man in Marshall. Here's Caron, the leading point getter from the regular season. Wesley can't get a shot. Caron trying to get it back. A lot of like battles along the boards for these pucks. Selivanov now. Big hit there. Here is Anson Carter getting to it. Anson Carter out front. Turcotte stopped by Jaguar. Huge. Selivanov stopped. That line's looking dangerous for them. Carter's chance, and that's also stopped. Wow. Yeah, we definitely got to watch out for that line. Turcotte's got the 3 goals and the assists, so this line has definitely been buzzing for the Bruins. Good hit there from... Who's 22? Oh, Arvidsson, okay. Arvidsson's shot is stopped. It's loose. It's right there. Oh, it almost went in. It almost went off the body and in. Emerson out front. And Primo can't get to it. Wow. That was very close to going in off of body. Like it was in the blue paint, I think. Anson Carter with a nice little hit there by Wesley. Wesley and Sweeney both used to play for Boston. Anson Carter a chance, and Jaguar is going to cover it and not take any chances. Good. Wow. This has been a good overtime to watch. I do like watching these overtimes, so maybe we'll do that more often in NHL 23 when we get franchise modes that we actually get to the playoffs in. Here's Jones with a shot at a great block. It's cleared almost, but Laukkanen held it in. But now it's out. Tamander with it. Tamander getting pressured there a little bit. DeMaio finds Keith Jones, who gets it in. Alex Gojiniak in the lineup playing because we took Bouchard out of the lineup. He finds Arvidsson. Magnus Arvidsson carrying it in on backhand. It's wide of the net. Tamander with it now. The big Swedish defenseman gets it out of the zone. It's high up, and Jones has it now. Good little hit there, and now racing to it is Malik. He gets pressured. Stevens with it now. He also played for the Bruins at one point. Chase on over to Jeff O'Neill. Jeff O'Neill can't get by Laukkanen. Gets it back, though. Throws it up front. Arvidsson scores. Wow, what a goal. Magnus Arvidsson of all people. Let's go. We're going to the second round, so we do have more to record in this episode, so apologize if you guys thought we were getting eliminated, but not today. We tie it up late in the game, and then we win in overtime as Magnus Arvidsson with the overtime winner off a great forecheck from Jeff O'Neill. And there's the handshake line. Kevin Dineen still the captain of this team. Look at that. Woohoo. Back to the second round. We've been in the second round every single season of this franchise mode, so it's pretty good. Considering this team, I think, in 96-97 wasn't actually that good, so. But what a OT winner. See, look at that pressure by O'Neill. Steals the puck. Then gets the other defenseman to converge on him, and it finds Arvidsson in the slot. And he scores the OT winner to send us back to the second round after we tied it up late. Let's just see this for a sec. There is a moment in history right there. Well, not in history, but boom. Okay. Let's get to the second round now, since we just wasted a bunch, well, not wasted a bunch of time, but we got to see our team win that first round. Who are we going to be playing in round 2 is the question. Who are we going to be playing? It's the Pittsburgh Penguins. What a surprise. We played Pittsburgh like 3 times already in the second round, so, or actually not in the second round, in general. So the 4th straight year we're going to be playing against the Pittsburgh Penguins. So let's take a look at their lines and stuff like that. We won't take a look at our player stats. Actually, we will after the first round, because might as well. Just a little bit of a look, just because we don't want to take too long in this episode, considering we're already around 30 minutes. There you go. Castle's leading the way there. Sanderson there. Brett Hull actually had a really good first round, not goal scoring wise though. Yeah, pretty solid. Okay, let's take a look at the Penguins quickly, and then we'll get into the second round matchup. See if we can knock out one of the best teams in the league. So, top line of Derek King, who we, like I said, we'd let go of before. He's been pretty good there in Pittsburgh. They have Mary Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr still. Second line of Talkett, Nedved, and Francis. Third line, Maltby, Olchek, and Volk. Fourth line of Odgers, Johnson, and Black. Pretty solid top, our first 3 lines and fourth line. Defensively, they're a little bit weaker. Brett Head against Sammy Salo, Konstantinov and Norton, and an Iafredi and Krupp. And goalie-wise, Lalim and Barrasso. Depth-wise, Hatcher, Lefebvre, and Karkner, all defenders. Interesting. So, basically, it's the same thing as the last few years. We need to contain Jagr and Lemieux if we want to have a chance to win the series. So, let's see what happens here in round 2. Round 2, game 1. I feel like this is probably the series we'll lose in, but we'll never know. We could upset them. Come on, boys. First period of game 1. And it's 1-1. Norton scores and an Emerson scores on the power play. For us, it's a 1-1 game. Shots are 11-9. Second period, still 1-1. So the shots are 20-14, but it's still a 1-1 game. Let's see what happens in this third period. See if we could get that lead. Come on, boys. Since we're on the road to start the series, it'd be nice if we could win a road game at least. Come on, boys. Are we going to overtime again? Penalty kill. Nicely done. Come on. Since we won in overtime in Game 7 of Round 1, it'd be nice to, you know, just keep on winning games after that. We're outplaying them completely in this game. 32-19 the shots, but still 1-1, so Lalim is keeping them in this. Let's see what happens in overtime. Power play in overtime. Can we get another OT hero? No, we cannot yet. Penalty kill. Nicely done. Will Magnus Arvidsson have another OT goal in him for us? Since he got one before, and no, he won't. It's Derek King, of course. The former Hartford Whaler guy gives us a loss in game 1. That one stings. Lemieux got an assist on it, of course. But Emerson from Primo and Hull is our only goal. Seems like we're still having those games that we really struggle offensively. And yeah, Patrick Lalime was nuts. And of course, Derek King had to score the goal to make us lose game 1. But at least it was a close game. We should have won that one, though, based on shots. Let's get into game 2. I'm going to keep the roster the same unless we lose this game. So let's see if we could win a game in Pittsburgh and keep this series at least somewhat close. First period, 1-1. Okay, we'll take that. Olchuk scores for them. Don Sweeney scores for us, which is nice. Good to see that the trade acquisition is helping us out. Shots are 12-9 in favor of the Penguins. It's a 1-1 game. Second period, 4-1 Pittsburgh. Nedved, Olchuk, and Black. Shots are 21-21. We're down by 3 goals. 21-21. Damn, I just sounded like 21 Savage there. Let's see what happens in this third period. But I honestly feel like we're going to lose in the second round based on how good Pittsburgh is right now. Like, Pittsburgh hasn't won a Stanley Cup yet, I don't think, in this franchise mode. So this is probably their year to do it. We got to make some adjustments going back home now, because we're going to be down 0-2 in the series. So hopefully we can win some games on home ice, considering last game, which was game 7, that we had on home ice. We won that one. So our only goal is Sweeney from Stevens and Manderville. But yeah, this is not looking too good, because Lalime is on his game. He's only allowed 2 goals in the first 2 games. Yeah, Lalime is on the mission right now. I wouldn't put any of these games on Jaguar, though. Our offense has just had a lot of these games where they're just really streaky. And so let's go back to Primo on the top line, even though Castles had a big goal in last round. And what do we want to do here? Let's go Sweeney up there and chase on down. And let's throw, instead of Deneen in the lineup, let's throw Korolyuk. I know it might seem weird, but let's give Korolyuk an opportunity to play instead of our captain. And then we'll go back to Joel Bouchard instead of Godinyak. Just see if that experiment is fully done. And yeah, we'll see if that ends up helping our team out or not. Because being down 0-2 to Pittsburgh, I feel like it's going to be a Pittsburgh-Colorado Cup Finals after they re-signed Forsberg last offseason. That's my guess. And will I be right is the question. I am right a lot of the time when it comes to guessing who's the Cup winner. But let's see what happens here in Game 3, see if we could get back into the series or not. First period, 1-0 Pittsburgh. There's this really tough to beat Patrick Lalime. He's only led to 2 goals in the first 7 periods of the series, so, or actually 8 periods, I guess, considering overtime and whatnot. But Sammy Salo scores on Jaguar. Shots are 13-10 in favor of us, but once again, we're having trouble scoring goals. This team is just too good defensively, this Penguins team, and then Lalime is just lights out, it seems like. Can we tie it up in a second? Second period? No, we cannot. We do not score in that second period either. Shots are 23-23. And we're down 1-0. Are we not going to score another goal in this game or the series or what? Like, okay, there you go. Jeff O'Neill ties the game up. Power play. We do not convert there, though. It's hard to score more than 1 goal on Patrick Lalime, it seems like. Ron Francis gives them the lead. Of course, it's another former Hartford Whaler. Wrightstow ties it up for us. So there's 2 goals on Lalime for the first time in the series, which is nice. But, yeah, we need to find a way to win this game here. Come on, boys. And we're going to overtime. Shots 36-29 in favor of us. 2-2 game. Let's see what happens in OT. See if we can get another clutch hero. Power play in overtime. We do not convert, though. Come on, boys. And Pittsburgh wins on a short-handed OT winner. Ron Francis scores a short-handed goal against us. Of course, it's a former Hartford Whalers / Carolina Hurricanes player. And we're down 0-3, and we're 1 game away from being swept in round 2 after Game 7 overtime. That's unfortunate. O'Neill's first from Arvidsson and Chason, and Rice's first from Korolyuk and Manderville. But the big guys that had a good first round aren't stepping up here, which is unfortunate. And Lalime was the first star for the 3rd straight game. Yeah, so Patrick Lalime is on another tier right now, apparently. And it looks like we're going to probably get eliminated here. Unless something happens, we reverse sweep them, which I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Penguins are definitely the cup-winning team this year. But who knows? Maybe it'll be somebody else. And yeah, Jaguar is kind of struggling now. So we're going to go to Sean Burke for this game just because why not? And we are going to make a change. We're going to... Actually, Korolyuk had an assist in that game with 7 minutes of ice time. That's not bad. Who do I want to take out of the lineup, though? Because I was going to say maybe throwing in Grimson just to rough things up, but... I think I'll just keep the team the same way. Yeah, we're going to keep the team the same way. I guess Korolyuk actually did help out that fourth line a bit, so he actually helped us get into that game a little bit, but... Here we go, Sean Burke and net. The potential final game of the series, we're down 0-3. We need to win 4 straight games, so it's very unlikely we come back, but we'll see what happens. Real-time simulation, can we at least get one win in the series? Because so far we're getting destroyed defensively. Or not destroyed defensively, we're getting destroyed in terms of our offense. Like, our offense cannot score at all. It looks like we're going to start another first period with no goals. Oh, Primo scores. Okay, never mind. Good goal from Keith Primo. We need him and the top lines to get going here if we want a chance to win 4 straight games, though. And we're up 1-0 after 1. Shots 13-6, so we are out shooting pretty badly. Let's see if we can keep that momentum going in the second here. Come on, boys. Penalty kill. Nicely done. Hey, Stephen Rice makes it 2-0. That's a huge goal. Looks like we might end up actually getting a win in the series, which is good. Unless our team blows in. Which, of course, might end up happening now as Gary Volk makes it 2-1. And we are going to be up 2-1 going into the third. Shots are 24-12, so we're doubled them in shots and goals. Let's lock this one down here, boys. And stay alive, please. Penalty kill. Nicely done. That's exactly what we need. And Primo with a big goal to make it 3-1. Let's go. But Lemieux answers back to make it 3-2, and Lemieux answers again. 5 seconds apart. 2 quick goals from Lemieux. This game is totally rigged. We're going to lose this game for sure. Oh, no. Is it another overtime situation? Yeah, but it's going to be another overtime. God damn. But 5 seconds apart from Mary Lemieux. Both in the same spot, so... Basically, he scored, then he won the face-off, and then just went right back down the ice and shot it and scored again. God damn it, Sean Burke. I put you in just because Jaguar needed a break, but... Shots 31-23 in favor of us. I would watch the overtime, but the thing is with this is if we end up winning, then we have 3 more games, and this series is going to be too long. So let's see what happens at OT, see if we can stay alive. And no, we cannot. Ron Francis scores another overtime winner, this time on the power play. And unfortunately, because of 2 quick goals from Lemieux, we are going to be packing our bags in only 4 games in the second round, and the series has come to an end in a utter disappointing defeat to the Pittsburgh Penguins in the second round. We've had such a rivalry with them in the playoffs, though, so props to them for finally winning one. So Primo from Wesley and Sanderson, Rice from Shayla and Arvidsson, and Primo from Hull and Sanderson. 3 stars in that game: Primo, Lemieux, and Sanderson. Let's take a look at those player stats, though, through the playoffs. But we had 3 overtime losses in that 4-game series. So technically, if we would have won 2 or 3 of those, we could have honestly been in reverse fashion. So it's unfortunate that we could not get the clutch game performances done. We had that same kind of problem in the regular season, though. We had a lot of OT losses and a lot of ties. So extra frame games kind of proved to be costly for us, I guess. Let's take a look at our player stats, and then we'll sim up to the awards and see who wins the Stanley Cup. But my guess is it's going to be Pittsburgh and Colorado in the finals, I think. Pittsburgh's probably playing New Jersey next round, and then the West is really tough to tell right now. So let's take a look at our player stats, though. So Primo is doing pretty good. Castles is doing pretty good, but he's -3. Manderville, kind of quiet. Sanderson was decent. Arvidsson was decent. He had the game-winning goal in the first round, so I can't complain. Krom was kind of quiet considering he had 50-something points in the regular season. Definitely expected a little bit more from him. Stevens was really quiet. Stevens definitely was a disappointment at this playoff run. Brett Hull was good. Emerson was solid, I'd say. O'Neill was kind of quiet. Same with Rice, Deneen. Korolyuk was decent when he played. So our depth scoring definitely wasn't there. Defensively, Shvela was not really the best either. He was kind of quiet. Like, our defensemen did decent in the regular season, but not so much in the playoffs. And then goalie-wise, the goaltending was kind of average. Like, Jaguar was good in the first round for the most part, but he kind of struggled at times as well. That sucks. So there is that. Let's take a look at who ends up winning the Stanley Cup this year. My guess is Pittsburgh, but let's see who ends up winning the Stanley Cup in this last season and the final awards and all that type of thing. So the final Stanley Cup champion is going to be... God damn, I don't want to do this view offer thing. It's not like I'm going to be playing more of this franchise mode, so it's going to be the Dallas Stars. Okay, so the Dallas Stars win the Stanley Cup, I think, we're in the 2000 season. So maybe like a year after they, or actually the year that they lost the Cup Finals to New Jersey, I think. So that's kind of cool. So I was wrong on the Cup champion. Who did they play in the finals, though, is the question. Dallas played the Montreal Canadiens. So Montreal came back from that 3-1 deficit over New Jersey. And then they took out the Penguins in 7. And then lost to Dallas in 7. Damn. Dallas win the Stanley Cup, huh? Let's take a look actually at their player stats from that Cup winning team, because that's another thing I like to do. Let's see what they got. Wow, Medina was really good. Jeff Shantz is doing really good. Interesting. Ferraro, Neuendijk, Larionov, who they brought in, Steen. Yeah, I could see why they're already a good team. Yeah, Yuri Letnin. Yeah, it's a very solid defensive team. Oh yeah, they brought in Phil Housley on a 1-year deal as well, so he gets a Stanley Cup ring. That defensive core was really good. And then goalie-wise, you have Curtis Joseph, so... yeah, that's a really good Dallas team. Good that they won a Stanley Cup. So, Dallas wins the Stanley Cup. So, the champions in the franchise movie we had St. Louis, San Jose, Hartford for us, and Dallas. There's the present trophy winner, the Colorado Avalanche, Dallas, and Montreal Stanley Cup Finals. That was the second time Montreal was in the Cup Finals in this. Yeah, Montreal lost to St. Louis in year 1, so Montreal has lost twice in the Cup Finals. I don't know why the screen is a little bit glitched, but Mary Lemieux has won the Art Ross. Sakic wins the Hart. Nick Lidstrom the James Norris for the second straight season. Turgeon the Lady Byng. Curtis Gibson, Tampa Bay's rookie, wins the Calder. Curtis Joseph wins the Conn Smythe. Not a surprise. Patrick Waugh the Vezina. Roman Cechmanek the Jennings. Him and Garth Snow. Kenny Johnson wins the Bill Masterton. Vijay, who's Finland's coach, wins the Jack Adams. Sergei Fedorov the Selke. That's an interesting one. Sakic wins the Lindsay. A Gimlet wins the Richard. AHL award-wise, Gino Hodgick winning a couple awards, which is kind of funny. Martin Prusik also winning an award. Scott Polarin. Thomas Vokoun. And that is that. So I think that's almost it. And except for retirements. So we got to take a look at the retirements, and then I'll be it for this final episode of our Hartford Whalers series, which is kind of crazy. Edmonton gets the first overall pick this year. Chicago, Tampa, Florida, and Sweden. So let's take a look at those retirements, because we're probably going to have a lot of them since we have a lot of old players. So let's take a look at the retirements for this retirement class. So Thomas Steen retires as a Stanley Cup champion. Mike Bullard, Denny Savard, Ron Sutter. Some decent names there. Not a lot of decent names, but some of them. Left wing wise, Greg Adams is the best to retire. Randy Wood. Paul Ranheim, who we had before, but we let him go. He ends up retiring, playing with Washington. He played some games in their AHL team as well, which is interesting. Mike Ho, Kelly Miller. That's pretty much it on the left wing side. So actually we didn't probably have a lot of retirements, it looks like. Mike Gardner retires. Also Tony Tanti. Kevin Dineen retires for us, so there goes our captain in the last season, which makes sense. We got him a Stanley Cup ring, which is nice. Solid player, a lot of penalty minutes, decent amount of points. Had a little bit of a bummer last playoff run, but oh well. There you go, Kevin Dineen. Borchevsky retires. Ronnie Stern. That's pretty much it for right wingers. Defensively, Ray Bourque hangs them up without a Stanley Cup ring. Maybe I should have just traded for him instead of Don Sweeney. We beat him in the first round, and that ended his playoff running chances of winning a cup. Damn. 218 points. Larry Murphy also retires, 214 points. Two really good defenders. And Uverta, Vyacheslav Fetisov, or Slava Fetisov. Kasatonov retires. A lot of Russians. Bukaboom, Anderson, Babbage, Kevin Lowe retires. Bavirios, Pocek. A lot more defenders retiring. Interesting. And what about goalies? The best goalie to retire, John Van Beesbrook, hangs him up at 37. Glenn Healy, Kelly Rudy, Bob Asenza. So the only player we lost to retirement in this last season was Kevin Dineen. Actually, Bob Rouse as well, but we never played him in the AHL, I don't think, did I? Oh no, we did play him in the AHL a bit. 5 points in 13 games. Because we claimed him on waivers, but we never used him in the NHL. So there is that. And just for one last thing, just because I might as well show you guys what the AHL system would have looked like in terms of progress reports, in case you guys want to see if any of these guys would have made the NHL coming up. Let's see if we got any prospect growth from any of those guys that we drafted. Yeah, Inglis would have been getting close. Holmstrom didn't really grow much, so probably not. A lot of these guys are not that close to the NHL. Yeah, Garrison's up to a 67 though, so that low elite probably would have made it in the next few years. Oh, that's interesting. Let me actually take a look at how Holmstrom did in his first AHL season. 69 points. Wow. That's a pretty impressive rookie campaign. I would definitely take that. And then Inglis had 80 points in the AHL this year. Huh, okay. It's pretty decent. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode and this final episode of our entire Hartford Whalers franchise mode. So thank you guys for watching this series. I know it was a little bit of a shorter series, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of throwback series to end NHL 22. I look forward to making some NHL 23 content franchise mode wise. Like I said, I will be doing a regular franchise mode in NHL 23. I'll also be doing a Draft the Glory franchise mode for sure at the same time. And sometime we'll do some more throwbacks franchise modes, considering I will be doing like a 1979-80 roster build, and we could actually use 21 teams, which will be kind of cool. So let me guys think down below, and I'll see you guys in NHL 23.